Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D models, and this is where we left it off. Alright, so now let's put just a little piece of wood into this pot here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just grab this piece, Shift D, bring it over, and then what we'll do is we'll just make it a little bit bigger first. So S, in fact I've got everything selected, so S and Z, and now let's rotate it. So in fact before we rotate it, let's just rotate it around as well. So RZ 90, like so. Am I happy with that? Yes, I am. So R and Y, let's drop it into place. Let's bring it then into place like so, and just make sure it's fitting in there where it's not going over the edges of here and down here. And yeah, that's looking pretty cool. We can see that we do have a problem with this sticking out here. We really don't want this. I'm actually glad I found that. So what I'll do with this one before I do anything else is S and Y and just squish it in just a little bit, and then I can just move them out, just making sure nothing's poking through there. And now you can see that's looking pretty nice. And then finally back to this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bend it slightly. So I'm going to grab the center of it. I'm going to press 1 on the number pad. I'm going to make sure proportional editing is on, and then I'm going to just press G while holding this out a little bit. Do I need to hold it out a little bit more? Like so. Double tap the A, and there we go. Now, before we start anything, let's just take stock of what we've actually done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into rendered view mode. In fact, we'll go to modeling and actually have a look at this properly. So we'll come over here. I'm going to press tab, double tap the A, just make sure I've got nothing selected. Turn off my interlocking links, turn on my rendered view, and there we go. We can see already this is looking like a professional piece. Now, we've not even nowhere near done yet. And we've certainly not done with the lighting or anything like that. There's tons to go on this. It is a huge project, but you can already see now you've pretty much got a lot of the basics down of what you need to do to create a professional looking building. And I'm sure like once you've actually finished this, you'll be able to take all of those things away and create some amazing stuff. This is going to save you years of work, because it's going to teach you the right way from the ground up. Okay, so let's put it back on material mode. And what I'm going to do now is just put my interlocking links back on. I'm going to come over then to my asset manager. And what I want to do now is just bring in a couple of bricks. So I'm going to bring in, you've got small bricks here. Let's bring in one brick here, like so. And let's spin it round. Let's actually have a look at that brick. So I'm going to spin it round. So RZ 90, and then RY 90. And then we'll bring in one more little brick, which we'll put at the side of it. So I'll bring in this one. Oops, let's bring in this one. So I'm going to go to front view again, grab this brick, and then R, Y, 90. And then I'm just going to pull this over here, I think, and then this brick, this bigger brick, a little bit up, and just over to here like so. And then I'm going to grab them both, pull them back into my wall, and then finally I'll grab this one and just pull it out just a little bit. And there we go. All right, so that's that bit done. Now let's make a start on our actual roof. So we already have a roof, which is here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Shift D because I want to keep the tile size. So I'm going to bring that over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press RZ 90. And then I'm going to bring this up. Now this roof is the biggest roof. It is the hardest one to get right. So let's first of all bring it up into place like so. And then what we'll do is we'll come over first and put this. So we'll go to the little spanner. I'm going to set the reset this rotation. So where is it? Reset to default value. I'm also, you can see that the default value is actually minus 21. Let's put that on 0. And then we can actually work from there. Now I'm going to rotate it up. And I also want to make sure that the roof angle is on 0 like so. So now it's nice and flat. Now I have something to work from. So let's actually see. Yeah, that's roof angle. Bend also needs to be on 0, I think. Let's have a look. I've got something wrong here. Let's first of all just go back a minute and see what I actually did there. Lock center. Let's turn off bend. Let's turn off lock center. Let's turn off the roof angle down to 0. Yeah, and that's what's flattening it out. So we really don't want to turn that one down to 0. Roof angle. Let's turn that one. Yeah, and that's it's just bending it all out for us. That's not something we want. So let's come in instead of doing that, and let's bend it round to where we want it instead. So what we'll do is we'll try. Yes, there we go. Now we're straightening it out, and now we can bend it round. Not this one here. Bend it round like so, and let's drop it into place, and let's see how far we need to bring it down. So we're happy with the top. I think that when we can increase the vertical count, yeah, it's going to increase the top. That's fine. We can get that in place now. And now we can work on bringing this to here. So you can see it needs to come pretty much down to this part here. So let's first of all bring our rotation round. And it's going to be a little bit fiddly, but I think actually it's not going to take us too long just to get it into place. And I think actually when we've got some pieces of wood here, this is going to be near enough perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to increase now the horizontal, because it's going all the way, it's going to come all the way out to here, as you can see. So we need another piece of wood here, and then we'll see where we're going to put it. So let's increase the count. So increase to something like that. And let's have a look. And that, I think we'll pull it out a little bit more. I think that's going to be near enough perfect. Now, the one thing we can see is we've actually got no real bend in here, and we would like a little bit of a bend in here. So I'm just going to come to the bend. Let's see if I can bend it this way a little bit. I'm going to actually come in. I think I'll lock the angle, and then I'll bend it. Yeah, you can see that I'm actually locking the angle there. That's probably not the best thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click bend. There we go. That is what I want. And now I can actually rotate this back round to there. And then I can actually bend it a little bit more and then rotate it. Not on there. Rotate it back round to there. And then let's pull it out a little bit. And there we go. Now I'm actually much happier with that. We've got a nice bend in there. And it's fitting well. Is it coming below where I actually want it, so I can see? We're going to get rid of this, so I'm going to just pull it back into place like so. We're not going to have anything in there, so we just want it hid underneath here, as you can see. So that is about perfect. Obviously we can still see this grey bit in there, but we're not going to see that in the end, so we don't need to worry about that too much. And also with this, once we've actually built it, we're actually going to be bending it in the center as well. But we've got a long way to go before then. So first of all then, let's bring in some other piece of wood. Now I'm thinking on this part, probably bringing in a piece of wood that's exactly going to follow this the way that I want. So I think, in other words, what I'm saying is I would sooner bring in my own piece of wood rather than creating another piece. Bringing it in from the asset manager, I mean. Okay, so let's actually do that. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to bring in a plane. So I'm just going to come to this here. I'm going to press Shift S, cursor to selected, and then I'm going to bring in a plane. So Shift A, let's bring in a plane. Let's spin that plane round. So RY 90, RZ 90. Let's pull it out then. And I want this plane to be in front of here. So I'm going to pull it in front of here like so. And then what I'm going to do is press 1. I'm then going to press Tab, and then going to press Z, go into wireframe, and now I can see where I need to cut this along. So I'm going to cut it coming from here, going down here, and finally ending over here somewhere. So I might as well start at the bottom here. So I'm going to press K, and then going to bring it up and follow this going along like so all the way into this part here. And then what I'm going to do is just end it over here, press the enter button. So we have got something like there. Now this is the point where you probably want to start messing around then with these vertices. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straighten it all out. So I'm going to turn off proportional editing, and what I want to get them is just below where the actual tiles are. So just below where this line is, as you can see. And the other roof actually is the more complex one, the one on over this side, because actually you've got to pull that out at the same time. So that roof is pretty complex. And then what I'm going to do is bring this down. All right, something like that's looking pretty good. And now what I can do is I can actually grab this coming all the way from here, going down to here, so we can see that nice, beautiful slope that we've got. And then all we're going to do is press Shift D, bring it out, and that's what we're left with. Now we can actually come in and delete this out of the way. So delete just this part. So delete vertices. Let's put it on object mode, and now we should be left with this. Now if we press Ctrl A or transforms, right click, so origins geometry, and then what we'll do on the next lesson is we'll actually start bringing this out and creating it into a really nice piece of wood that's going to cover that end for us. All right everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.